What type of doctor are you? I believe that all doctors fall in one of the category. Some of us fall into 2 or 3. And today, I want to walk you through all the categories one by one. And at the end, I'm going to tell you which category I am, myself, and what it cost me. 1. The perfectionist. The perfectionist charts 7 paragraphs for a cold. Everything has to be done by the perfectionist himself. Every lab, order every single test, and next available appointment in like 3 months. Not because they're popular, but because they're buried in their thoroughness that doesn't serve the patients, it just serves their anxiety. So here's the real cost. When the perfectionist is away, there's no way anybody can touch their patients. There's no locums, no colleague seeing them. If something's wrong or patients need help, they'd rather the patient not be seen than someone else take care of them. Their practice is a one-person fortress, clinically excellent, but completely fragile. One vacation, one illness, one stop, and everything breaks down. You know this doctor. You may actually be this doctor. And the same thing that makes this doctor excellent makes their own practice unsustainable. Number 2, the collector. ER shifts, hospital work, nursing homes, Botox practice on the weekend, multiple residencies, double or triple board certified, multiple fellowships, 15 years before they've seen their real patient. The collector can spread either wide or deep, sometimes both. Every new credential, every residency, every diploma is a proof that they're better, that they can do better than others. But this isn't ambition. It's a proof of their own insecurity. And here's the thing about the collector. They've spent so many years accumulating their diplomas, their credentials, that the actual career in medicine isn't that long. They spent most of it on credentialing. They spent so much time collecting that they actually never built anything. Number 3, the firefighter. Impatient, quick, treats their family practice like it's urgent care. Talks to the patient, we'll follow up later. When the test comes, we'll give you a call. But those calls never come. He just keeps on moving to another task. They cannot sit with complexity. They can't take care of chronic disease. Every longer appointment just drives them nuts. They have to leave the room. And their patients never really get any proper answer other than management of very fast, quick conditions that now the pharmacist can take care of. So what here looks like efficiency is just impatience. Impatience that prevents the firefighter from providing proper care to his patients. So the next one looks like a perfectionist on the surface, but it's quite the opposite of it. And maybe this next one is the most dangerous of them all. The next one is number 4, the avoider. The avoider runs a fear-based practice. He read too many CPSO and disciplinary tribunal stories. Everything he does is to protect himself. An avoider would order a ton of tests just to make sure they're safe and order every single test that the patient comes to them and requests. This is the person who cannot say no. So there you go. You have a radiation, false positive, one test chasing another, and it all came out of insecurity and anxiety because the original clinical problem was nothing. Refers to specialists because they want to make sure double, triple check things. And it may seem on the surface like the perfectionist, but the motivation is different. The perfectionist orders extra tests just to make sure everything's in place. This type of person orders extra tests out of fear. So the avoider ends up living 10% of their clinical capacity and probably 10% of the capacity in life. Everything just to be certain, just to be safe. Number 5, the dreamer. The dreamer is a type of doctor that everybody likes. They're compassionate, they're loving, they're giving. They're a genuine believer. They want to fix family medicine, fix healthcare, save the world. There's only one problem with it. They are incapable of action, incapable of execution. So they're in a crowd, all the committees, talking for 30 minutes about something that's insignificant, forming initiatives, connecting and giving each other the floor to speak. They can't set an agenda, they can't agree on execution, they can't agree on planning. And they team up with people exactly like them. So they end up creating a lot of mental energy in a small box. That box they cannot leave themselves. They're gonna post like initiatives about doctors' shortage or fixing a problem, but they can't restructure their own schedule. They're gonna spend time sitting in those committees, sitting on the Zoom meetings while their patients wait like 5 weeks to see them for an appointment. So their own feeling of caring becomes a substitute of any concrete action for them, and their own patients are still waiting to see them. Now, type number 6, the bureaucrat. This is like a person who escaped clinical work into administrative tasks. A program director, a department head, a clinical lead. So this is all about borrowed authority over others, borrowed excellence. They're a type of person who would want to sit at the table, but would never really know how to build that table. To them, I think it's a prestige is what counts. It's their camouflage for greatness. It's like the easiest feeling of getting an approval. And you know what? Some of those people may be there for the right reasons, being program directors and department heads, but I have a strong suspicions about just 10%. The rest, I think, is dreamers. The tell here is when you ask them, what have you built outside the institution you're in charge of? What is exactly yours here? And the answer is usually silence. Now 7, the guilt doctor. This is a person who can't say no. Not out of fear, like the avoider, but out of just inability. It's a people pleaser. They always say yes. And that's the type of person and doctor that patients love the most, because they're always available. They will do anything they ask them. They pick up the phone call at 9 p.m., their private cell phone. They'll do anything for their patients. So they're gonna see like 20, 30, 40 patients a day, but each appointment will be like 45 minutes and the appointments would stretch to like late hours. All because of one problem. They can never set boundaries. So it seems like this type of person is this ideal doctor, the 100% giving person, available all the time. But if you look at compassion without limits, it is something built on wrong foundation. Those doctors become unavailable in their 40s or 50s because they simply burn out. So this is the type of person that the practice entirely runs on guilt, not on systems, not on delegation, not on efficiency. And eventually a person like this has like nothing left to give, neither to their family, to their patients, or to themselves. Now the next one is number 8. That's who I am. Number 8 is the optimizer. This is the exact opposite of the guilt doctor. Everything's organized, everything's in the system, everything's what's possible gets delegated. A protocol gets written for everything. Computers are maximized to whatever they can be maximized. No one wastes a second. And on the surface, you probably want to be the doctor because everything runs smoothly. This person is home at 4:30, gets to see 3 times the amount of patients everybody else does. And this is the person who feels like they have figured something out that nobody else has. They have this feeling of superiority about everybody else. But the optimizer has one problem about them. Just like every other type has a problem about them. On the surface, they look good. There's an issue. Here, the issue is that the optimizer can optimize the clinic too far. So actually, at one point, the clinic is at risk of running without them. In my own experience, what happened to me, I actually was so distracted with other projects that I'm doing. I started being late to work. I started relying on my staff to the point that they actually were running my clinic without me, without my presence, without my leadership. And I realized that after my staff told me that they're actually carrying the burden of everything and they have nothing else left to give when they go home and see their kids. And if you want to hear more about it, it's a video we recorded last week. I'd like you to watch it with more detail about how we approached it and how we fixed it. Okay, so there are 8 types. Every single type has something good about them, but underneath, something hiding that they don't even want to notice. Some of us are a combination of 2 or 3 of them. So the perfectionist excellence is cage. A collector's CV is as large as a building. The firefighter's speed is neglect. The avoider's caution is caused by fear. The dreamer's compassion is a substitute for inaction. The bureaucrat's authority is large, but borrowed. And the guilt doctor's huge compassion actually leads to self-destruction. And the optimizer's efficiency is an excuse to leave. So every strength on the list has a cost. And if you see yourself as one of those doctors, post below and let me know. I would like to connect with you. And as always, take care of yourself first.